Hello and welcome to Bad Dog Comedy TV. It's live comedy on YouTube, and tonight you are watching Slumber Party with Ophira Kaloff. Hey, speaking of Ophira Kaloff, give it up for the host of Slumber Party, Ophira Kaloff.
Hello! That was a brilliant introduction. And 3 is the golden rule in comedy. So for a third time, hi, my name's Ophira Kaloff. Welcome to Slumber Party. Thank you so much for being here at the very cozy show where we hang out on our couches and talk all things art and snacks and feelings and get to meet such cool people and hang out with them. Shana Tova to all of my fellow Jews. If any of you are watching, I hope that you had a meaningful start to the Jewish New Year. Happy back to school for people who did that. So first of all, a visual description of myself. I am a white, fat human. I have brown curly hair that's in quite the messy bun at this point, but I'm gonna give it sort of that charming designation. It's like unkept, but in a slumber party way. I'm wearing a white and navy blue neck brace, turquoise thick rimmed glasses, and a navy blue kind of shirt shawl-y thing that has diamonds of blues and pinks and whites. And I'm sitting on my couch with a heart-shaped pillow behind me and a purple and gold fabric wall hanging. So that is the visual description of myself. And I was just struggling a little bit with my headphones, but they are in now. I also want us to just take a moment, even though we're connecting in this virtual space and it can feel a bit different in that way, to connect with the lands that we're on. I am so incredibly grateful to be able to, this week, my lobby flooded, and it made me so aware of how incredible it is to be able to go and be so close to water, to trees, to rocks. I'm based in Toronto, and this land that I'm on has been cared for and stewarded since the beginning of time by many nations, recorded and unrecorded. And they include the Haudenosaunee, the Anishinaabe, including the Mississaugas of the first credit, and the Wendat people. And here with Slumber Party, from Slumber Party and from me personally, we give thanks to the caretakers of this land, past, present, and future, and stand in solidarity with them. So here today, the first slumber party of the Jewish New Year, the last slumber party of the month of September, on this rainy, cozy day, we have a very incredibly exciting guest artist sharing the evening with us. This human is a singer and songwriter, they're an actor, they're a musician of all kinds, a community organizer, a just really lovely and fabulous human being. And I shall stop talking about them because, they should come and introduce themselves. So I give a huge welcome to Camila Consuela Esperanza.
It's me!
Welcome!
Yay, thank you. I love compliments. Appreciate it, Ophira. I'm so happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much for being here. Would you mind giving a little visual description of yourself?
No, I would love to. So, I am a 5-eyed, green-scaled, long, sort of like reptilian creature. I wish I was. I am not. I was kidding. So here are the facts. I am in my bedroom right now. So that includes a white wall behind me, a window to my left, probably your right. One side's got a window. It's too dark to see outside of it. The other side, you can kind of see a bit of my bed and some other wood art pieces I have around. And then I'm in the center of the frame, and I am I'm sitting in the center of the frame, and I have dark, curly hair spilling out of my head. And on top of my head, I also have my trusty animal ears. So this is like kind of a headband that's made of a nice fuzzy soft material, and it's white, kind of animal ears, and just animal. I don't really know what animal. They're just pointy, and they've got little pink insides. And then I've got my gold wire just regular glasses, not sunglasses, gold wire glasses on my eyes because I need them to see. And then my skin sometimes in certain lights kind of looks like some of the wood pieces behind me. It's like nice and warm and goldeny, not quite wood, but kind of like darker than the white wall behind me. And then I have my favorite sweater on, which is a big blue and white hoodie made of alpaca wool. So it's a turquoise blue, and it's got white animals on it, including a giant bald eagle stretched across my chest with wings outstretched, kind of like reaching for something. It's hunting. And it's my favorite thing, and it's very warm. So my skin's kind of like glowy / sweaty because it's pretty hot. But this is the temperature I like to be and choose to be. And I think the last thing I'll say is that I've got some string lights behind me. Very, very aesthetic. And that's it.
So aesthetic. I want to point it out.
I see Monica commented. Monica's watching. My wife.
A bunch of hearts and the party, the party emoji. Is there a name for them?
Honestly, I don't even know what's happening in that emoji. It's like partially a party hat, but then confetti's coming out of it.
Yeah, the upside down party hat with confetti.
Yeah,
that one.
Have you ever been to a party like that?
All the time. What are you talking about?
Okay. Sorry, my bad.
This is how I spend my life. I just
pouring confetti out of hats.
Yeah, well, pouring it into them first and then out of them.
That's my. Okay, I love that job for you. That's my sister. Hi, Andrea.
Hi.
Such a big support for me. Andrea is an MVP, most valuable player.
Oh, okay, this comment section is already filled with loveliness.
How can I see the comment section? I'm gonna.
Ooh, look. You can click on the side.
I found it.
Comments. Amazing.
Okay. Yeah, awesome.
Figuring it all out. So, in the realm of getting situated, I'm one of those party hosts that I like situation. I like us knowing what's going on. I don't want anyone to be wondering, like, okay, what are we in for? So in that realm, I have a couple of house rules. Do you feel ready for the house rules?
I love rules.
Amazing. Here we go. So the first house rule is the most important one, and it's you do you. Truly, truly, we'd love for you to engage with the show in whatever way works best for you. Part of that is on the sensory front, you can turn the volume or brightness up and down on your own computer. Feel free to come and go, snack or drink. We're gonna have snacks. We have different drinks. Turtle, have a dance party. What we were already talking about with the comments is we'd love for you to chat with us in the comments. You can ask any questions throughout the show to either of us or things to throw out there in general. In that comment section, I believe should be on the side of your screen, but depending on your screen, it might be just below the video. Yeah, that's you do you. And the subsection of that rule is there will be so things to expect from the show. There will be integrated visual descriptions. So that's what Camila and I were doing at the beginning, is describing ourselves. And if we do anything super visual or physical, we're also going to give a brief visual description of that. And there's also going to be an archived recording of this show, and this happens for every show. And captions are added. Professionally done captions. They're very, very good. And that goes up within a week of the show airing. There also will be music in those transition-y sections, and there's going to be some music with live guitar later, which I'm so excited about. And there will, if it wasn't already obvious, there will most definitely be silliness. Things that there will not be any strobe effects, so no sort of flashing lights or anything like that. And we're also going to avoid any sudden noises wherever possible. So that's what to expect from the show. Next up, we have the schedule, because, the parties, it's good to have a roadmap. So we're doing great. We're already through the first part, introduction and house rules. Next up, we're going to have snacks and chats, because that's what you do when you go to a slumber party. You have to settle in and, figure out who eats what kind of chips and the like. Then we're going to have the entertainment section, and tonight our wonderful guest, Camila, will be providing that entertainment. We are all the luckiest. And at the end, we're going to do a activity. At every show, it's different. I'm not going to say what it is quite yet for this show, because we will get there. But it's basically something that you might do at a slumber party. And then that will be the end of the show. That'll bring us to approximately 10 p.m. And we'll all curl up and go to sleep. Or we will go and see what happens in the presidential debate. Or we will go to sleep and think about that in the morning. We will see where we're all at. Last but not least, for the rules, this is a free party. But if you want to give a host gift, right under this video, there is a link. It's baddogtheater.com/slumberparty. And you can donate there to keep this show and all of the other wonderful shows on Bad Dog TV, Bad Dog Comedy TV, running. There's shows every weekday, 2 shows, some in the afternoon at 4:30 and some at either 9 or 9:30 p.m. You can also click subscribe to keep up to date with the show and all of those other shows if you would like. Okay, I think that brings us to the end of the house rules.
You did great. It's a lot.
So much. Truly, as a kid, I was not the kid who made a bunch of rules. I was the kid who just kind of sat quietly and was like, oh, okay. So this is a real transition for me.
I've seen you lay down the law in some very interesting places, Ophira. I feel like you're very capable of doing this.
You know,
Lay down the law is maybe intense, but yeah.
I'm gonna take that as quite the compliment because I do try. Okay, do you feel introduced and oriented with this party?
I love it. Yep.
Cool. Then I think we should move into the next section because it's so very fun. And that is snacks and chats. Yay!
The popcorn dances and throws its own popcorn out of its own body.
I am so proud of that one.
Did you do that?
Well, I found it and I dragged it into the place.
That is a generous bag of popcorn.
It is, as a visual description of it, that transition says snacks and chats, and it has a little dancing popcorn person that takes
arms. Yeah, its arms are like waving, and then popcorn's flying out of its box. Like, is that on purpose? Is that just like a aftermath of the dance? What do you think, Ophira?
You know, I'm someone that, like, if I'm dancing, I'm not the most coordinated person. So sometimes I get a little floppy. If I have like a scarf on or something, like it will get thrown, like not purposefully, just due to not being coordinated.
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe that's what the popcorn is. It's like the scarf.
Yeah, like carefree popcorn, just like I'll pick it up later. Like it's fine. Yeah.
Yes.
Sounds great.
Oh, okay.
What's your snack, Ophira?
My snack is a bag of popcorn that is bigger, I think like maybe 3 times the size of my head.
That's a Costco buy, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah. There's nowhere else that does this.
Yeah.
But much more exciting than my giant bag of popcorn. What is your snack?
It was pumpkin pie and ice cream. It was ice cream, right? So like I talked to Ophira a little before the show, being like, I got to time out the ice cream really right because it's hot in here and I am going to melt it. So I did eat it. I did take care of that before. Promise. It was vanilla ice cream. And then there's this pumpkin pie. And this is a very special thing for me because I don't just walk around my life having ice cream and pumpkin pie all the time, although I wish I did. But it was my birthday this weekend. And I don't have birthday cake on my birthday. I have pumpkin pie every time. It's so good. Yeah.
That's so good. Also, happy belated birthday.
Thank you. It keeps happening. Every time.
Every year. Oh, I'm trying to get away.
Like, honestly, it's like, what? Again? And I'm not even that old. I think I'm just like bitter about the world right now. So I'm just like, yeah.
I mean, fair enough.
Yeah.
Did you get up to anything for it?
Yeah, it was very weird. I'm sure people who have had birthdays during this shelter-in-place pandemic time can relate to this, but I was incredibly anxious about having all the ones that I love most in the world close to me during this time. And I wasn't, because last week in Ontario, it was such a weird transitional period with the testing. Like we were overwhelmed, but then they introduced pharmacy testing real late, and just suddenly, and the pharmacies were like, oh, what? So was I. I was trying to get tested for like 3 days. I went to 3 different hospitals in a day and they all rejected me. And long story short, I'm not even going to get into it, but I was very tired for this whole thing. And I could only get tested on my actual birthday. So I wouldn't get my results till the next day at least. So then on my actual birthday, some of my family was like making the time to come see me and say hi. And I was like, I would love to, but I am afraid for this. I am, because I recently, I'm part of the organizing team of a festival called Bricks and Glitter, which just finished. So Bricks and Glitter is a do-it-ourselves queer arts and activism festival. And it was created in response to Pride Toronto being a place where lots of people didn't actually feel welcome or proud or safe. It became, to lots of my queer community members, kind of a space where heterosexual people could come for a gay vacation. And that's fine, but like not at all the point of Pride. Pride started as a riot. It's activism and arts, because it beautiful drag queens were a huge part of that movement too. So Toronto queer community has come together and tried to create this festival. So we just finished the 3rd year. Oh my God, I'm on a rant, Ophira. Okay, so long story short, at this festival, we had lots of online offerings this year, which were very interesting. We learned a lot, but then we had a couple of live events, and I volunteered at these live events, including one that was in the Village. And, you know, everywhere people are starting to get tested and get some positive results. So I was like, and I just really, really wanted to get tested myself. And thankfully I got negative results, but it was just really, really anxiety time. So my birthday was mostly like the first day I was like, ah! And then I got a positive result. And then I hung out in the park. I hung out in the park every day this weekend just as a treat, because I don't go outside as much as I want to. So I just was like, you deserve the outdoors. Yeah.
I mean,
that's my answer.
The outdoors part, I'm like, that is so lovely. The fact that you couldn't get a test for so long, I'm so sorry. That must have been
Me and everybody else.
Frustrating.
It was just like, because I would, you know, bike. I have a bike and I like to bike around the city. So I'd bike to the different hospital and I look at the line and I'm like, oh, it's 4 blocks long. And then I talk to the people at the end and they're like, well, they're not letting anybody else in. And I'm like, bike to the next hospital. It's freaking so long. Like I can't even count the blocks. It's like around a parking lot. And I'm like, like, and some of those people were sitting in the sun for like 4 hours, actually, like 4-hour wait times. Yeah. People brought their own chairs.
Wow.
It's pretty apocalyptic.
I mean, this is awful in some ways, but my brain, I'm like, people have chairs, they're outside. I mean, it kind of sounds like a music festival. I feel like we should, like in my mind, I'm like, where's the entertainment? Like we have.
I should have brought my guitar, and I would have been like, "You're sick. You're sick too. All you are sick. Sick." Like that would have been so mean.
I mean, that's the theme of most of the content I create, to be honest.
So, Fira, you and I need to collaborate on like an EP. I will walk around the lines and blast it on like a boombox on my shoulders, and it'll just be like you being like, "Oh yes, being sick is a reality. Calm down. It's not the end of the friggin' world." Yeah.
I promise you.
Or you could just do your show on the street, which is probably incredibly difficult. So maybe no. I don't know.
Logistics might be a little tricky with the whole.
It would not be a relaxed performance. It would be an anxious performance. It would be
a tension-filled performance.
Experiments and access.
Can you find accessibility at the heights of anxiety?
While someone is having a panic attack in line, can you offer them theater?
These are the questions we need answered in 2020.
Honestly, I do. So we're writing the grant.
Yep, theater recommenders grants are coming up. Here we go.
Oh my god. No.
I mean, this is great. We've already got a project.
It's okay. You know what? Not everything needs to be a project. Sometimes it's just a good idea.
This is a good point. Which kind of, I don't know, that's been a huge realization for me in the past few months of just enjoying some ideas and letting them be ideas and letting that be like beautiful and lovely and fine. I kind of, what kind of things have been bringing you, like what's something new or something that's been bringing you joy over the past couple of months?
That's a really good question because it's been really hard to find. It's like kind of hard to feel emotions. And most of the emotions I feel are very like big and kind of overwhelming. And I get really sad really easily. Like me and one of my good friends, we call it the global sadness. And we got this like years and years before this pandemic. Like we've been friends for a long time, but it's like sometimes I'll wake up and I'll just feel the world's sadness. And I'm just like, and I know it's because I heard in the news yesterday something about the US and Mexican border, or I know about climate change. Like I just acknowledge that it's real. And I'll just wake up and just, it feels like sadness that's not even mine. It just, I'm like holding it for other people, and it's weird. So yeah, sometimes that's happening, but something that's been really useful for me is, I've got a couple things. Okay. One of them, I'm lucky enough to have an amazing bathtub, like a clawfoot bathtub right next to my room. Yeah, and I've been really getting into having baths, and I love it. I give myself the gift of washing my tub, filling it up. I will always bring a candle in there and like my little like totem rock things, and I sometimes will put Epsom salts in it or not, and I'll let myself soak in it, and it really feels like I'm giving my body at least a little bit of love, even if my mind doesn't accept. My body's at least like, yeah. So that's been great. It is kind of labor intensive because I have to like wash the tub, but when I can, I do that. And then I also love collaging. I love collaging.
That's so nice.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, I keep on finding like magazines on the street. And I've been collecting them for a long time, so I have a lot. And also like old books too, like books that you buy for like $1 or that are just left outside. Because you can collage with words or pictures, right? And then it's just really, it's kind of like the perfect anxiety activity, because you're looking at like a magazine, for example, and you cut out just one part that you think is interesting for no other reason than it's kind of cool. And it's just kind of intuitive. And then you cut it out, which is like nice and physical. And then you just put all those cuttings like in a pile. And then your only freaking job is to just put those cuttings in like some kind of order and glue it to itself. And you don't even need to know why, or like why at all. And then you just do it, and it just kind of feels expressive, and you don't know why. And then I put them away. And then the next day I'm like, wow, this is a collage about the fall of capitalism. And I'm like, what? Like, I don't even know like what the theme was. And then, but there is like, there's something I don't know, it's just like association. And it's really nice because my anxiety wants everything to make sense, but nothing makes sense. And then this is kind of that manifested.
That's, my mind is like, that's incredible. Like,
yeah, highly recommend. And it's very stationary too, so it's not too intense on your body. It's just like snip, snip. Mm-hmm.
Because so part of my, when I get anxious, I do a lot of tactile things.
Yeah.
And one of the less helpful tactile things is that I like to play with scissors.
Just like,
if I have a piece of paper nearby and a pair of scissors, it doesn't matter if that paper is important. I'm just like the act of like
cutting. Yes, I totally get that. You can use that, Ophir. You can make art.
This is why I'm like, oh, wow, this thing, instead of leaving just like tiny paper shavings on my couch that I have to like
confetti.
Gather.
Oh my God, I knew it. You were not lying. It's just confetti for your
confetti.
parties.
Yes, that's where it comes from. Then I put it into a party hat, so then I throw it out of the party hat, and then my day comes to an end.
Amazing.
We're really getting a picture of my inner
life. Yes.
Oh, it's funny because this is making me think of something that we have in common, which is a background in, the very not go with the flow art form of musical theater.
Uh-huh.
And I don't know, I find it really interesting, at least for me, I think, because I did musical theater, but also opera, which is also very quite... there's a lot that I love about it, but it's quite a rigid art form. It's very formulaic. It's very prescribed in many ways. And something that I've really been enjoying recently has been kind of doing the opposite of that and finding that balance of connecting with art in different ways that are a bit more spontaneous and a bit more... I don't know. I'm wondering kind of what your thoughts are on that.
Yeah, that's interesting. And I feel like because you and I both did these things when we were like children and coming up, it's very much like if someone tells us that that's the rule, we're like, that's the rule. And there's something about kind of coming into your own as an adult and your own artist and being like, I get to make the rules. And I actually don't like that rule, so I'm not going to do it. Yeah. So I actually studied, classical bel canto opera singing.
Oh, yeah?
When I was a kid. Yeah. I did like my Royal Conservatory exams and stuff. Yes, I love it. I loved it. I think the reason we both did is because it was so fun.
Yeah.
It's like so fun. There's nothing more fun. So I did opera, and then I did musical theater also basically my whole life because I lived in Toronto from when I was like 8 years old on. And then in Toronto, you have so much access to like arts programs and theater and stuff. So I did like, when I wasn't at my school, I was at Randolph when I was a kid. Yeah.
Wow.
And I like was at they moved locations so many times before they went to the Bathurst and Bloor church building that they're at now. So I remember that. And I actually remember like, I swear, if Andrea's still watching, Andrea also, my sister, she went to there. And one of their locations was on top of a restaurant. And this restaurant had mice, okay?
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah, but I was like so in love with the mice. Like I was a kid and I like, if you know me at all, I'm like, those mice were my best friends. So I was chased out of the kitchen a lot of times, actually. Anyway, what was the question? The question was theater. So I love musical theater because it was so fun. And then also there was an amazing community of people. And like, it was a way for me to connect and fill all those like social needs that I had. Like we were all friggin' weird and we all got to be weird together. And then we got to sing and dance. It was so fun. So then I ended up doing a degree in music theater performance at Sheridan College. So I really went all the way. I was like, let me please do this for my whole life. And it's just, Ophira, you've talked about this so many times and I've talked to you about it too. Just like the stress of suddenly being asked to be a professional, but then apparently being a professional means being someone else's version of who you are for money. And it was no longer freeing. It was actually really like taxing and stressful because I was like, oh, how do I be someone I'm not? And it's like, that is not at all the point of art or why I did it in the first place. So, it was actually, there was some really painful experiences for me in like professionalizing myself. That's made me not want to audition for things and be really intentional with how I engage with theater, which is kind of makes me sad because I wish I could just kind of fly like a free eagle bird, like along and just like audition and do whatever I want. But it has actually rarely gone well for me when I've done that. I mostly get myself into situations that are really unsafe and I don't like, so I'm not going to do that anymore. So now I've started to write my own stuff. But also I work with my friends who write stuff and then I do it. So mostly my career so far has honestly been like people asking me to be in shows and then I do it. I've rarely auditioned. And surprisingly, I feel pretty fulfilled and I like it. And yeah, right now I'm working with a really beautiful theater company called Aluna Theater. That's actually my bread and butter right now, how I'm able to live in this room right now during the pandemic, because shout out to all the beautiful artists who are not being employed currently, who are living and really important. And I love you, but not getting paid. And that sucks. So yeah, with the Aluna Theater, I basically I'm an artistic associate. So I get to sit on all the staff meetings and right now a lot of the conversations are about how do we approach this time when no one's letting us do the thing we do, and just trying to pivot and adjust to the times. And that's really fascinating. But Aluna Theater is an amazing company that centers people who have a lived experience of misogyny, artists who have a lived experience of misogyny being used against them, and immigrant artists and multilingual art too. And I find all those things really exciting. So I'm excited to work with them. Yeah. And I guess I should plug that I do a podcast with them as well. It's called, their whole kind of podcast area is called Radio a Luna Teatro. So there's a couple different audio storytelling shows that they have, but one of them is called Merendiando, which is like a bilingual Spanish-English, Spanglish podcast on art and social justice. And we talk with international artists and local artists. And my really good friend, Monica Garrido, is my co-host and co-producer on that. Although Monica is doing a lot of editing these days. So shout out to Monica for being on the computer all the time.
I've been lucky enough to be a guest on that podcast, and it's so lovely. Yeah,
I love that episode. Yeah, totally. And I think we ate burritos.
Yes,
on that episode. Yeah,
they were so good.
Yeah.
And I have listened to a number of episodes of the podcast, and it's just strong recommends.
Nice. I like some of the audio offerings that have been happening because of the pandemic. Some of them I'm annoyed by, but some of them I'm not. Something about when people are just being themselves, and then also when it's a podcast, I quite like it because I can do something else, and then I'm like have a friend in the room with me. It's nice.
Yes, podcasts. I had some trouble with before. I just had a hard time focusing on them sometimes. And for some reason these days, especially because I'm not seeing as many people, people full stop often, I'm really loving having podcasts on just in my space. And it's kind of a cool new thing.
Yeah. Okay, I have a question for you. Oh, yes, burritos.
Yes.
Burritos. Yes, it's true. Confirmed. I have a question for you, Ophira.
Yes.
What is like your favorite musical right now?
Whoa. This is a really good question. The musical that I was listening to today is Six the Musical. So that's like currently in my head because that's what I was listening to today. And it's like still playing.
Can you give us a piece of it? Just a small little snip.
The thing that's currently going in my head is the no way.
Oh, that could also be Dreamgirls. Okay. Yes.
It's
cool.
True. It does kind of sound, but it's the Catherine of Aragon song. When she's like, no way.
Amazing. I haven't heard that musical, and I know people love it, but I kind of, as much as musical theater raised me, I've taken steps sideways from it for the last couple of years just because I needed to. But if you have recommendations, I'm into that. Yeah.
I took quite a step back. I had kind of a painful stepping away from the performance world, and it wasn't really stepping away, it was me falling on stage. It was blunt force removal from the performing world, which then kind of sparks me processing and figuring out how I felt about things and how I wanted to move forward. But in that time I couldn't listen to any soundtracks, musicals, operas, anything. I just couldn't do it. Part of it was that it was painful, but part of it was just that I wasn't there yet. I wasn't ready, and it wasn't bringing me joy. And it's been a pretty recent thing that I've started listening to musical theater soundtracks again.
Yeah.
And some days I'm just so into it, and other days I'm like, no, today's not the day. It's not today.
I do find that when I do listen to a musical and I do get into it, it's not casual. It's like suddenly my entire life is like magic. Yeah, it's so weird how it does that. Yeah.
So, well, okay. Now we're talking singing and now we're talking musicals, which is making me think that maybe if you feel up to it, that it might be time to move into the entertainment section.
Do it. I was built for this. Let's go.
Amazing. Then without further ado, let's go into the entertainment section.
There's a dog. The dog on the I love it. Very good design. Okay, so I mentioned that, I start to write my own songs, and as a way to make theater that I like. So I do that. I write songs for theater and I write music. And this song I'm going to play for you first is a very special song, and I wrote it just for a friend of mine. I wrote it for a friend, I think 3 years ago now, and I played it the other day, and I was like, this could not be more relevant. It's just the universe being like, haha. So I wrote this song for when my dear friend, was going through a really hard time and dealing with some really intense depression. And I was just witnessing them, like, just trying to keep going. And I was just like, I don't know. This song kind of encompassed everything that I wanted to say to them. So, love you, Joshie. Maybe Joshie is watching. Joshie did notice the dog on the couch as well. So, dog on the couch. Do you see Joshie right there? Pretty Joshie. What a cool pic, Joshie. Love it. Okay, sorry. So, I'm going to play the song. I'm going to take out my headphones for that. Yeah. Okay. Oh, yeah. Hey, I got sleep, and I'm seeing clearly. Yeah, I'm seeing clearly. It's been raining on you, and all of you near me. Yeah, all of you near me. And I admit, it's a terrifying time to be alive, but I won't quit till I find the song and the perfect line. Make it fit, yeah, not much has changed at all. I admit, feelings off the wall, but I'll be here sitting with you through it all. 'Cause I got everything I need. I got everything you need. 'Cause I got you and you've got me. Yeah, I got you, you've got me. I got everything I need. I got everything you need. I got you and you've got me. Yeah, I've got you, you've got me. Yeah, when dark clouds roll by, just sit and breathe deeply. Come sit and breathe with me. You'll be coming out of this life, 'cause I'll keep you near me. Yeah, I'll keep you near me. And I know living it is so tough, and I know everything costs so much, and I know that I don't understand everything, but I think if you could let me in just a little tiny bit, then I'll start to see it. 'Cause you're showing me that you got everything you need. You got everything I need. 'Cause I got you and you've got me. Yeah, I've got you, you've got me. I got everything I need. I got everything you need. I got you and you've got me. Yeah, I've got you, you've got me. Hey, hey, hey. Whoa, oh, oh, oh. Cause I got everything I need. I got everything you need. 'Cause I got you and you've got me. Yeah, I got you. Ooh, you got me. I got everything I need. I got everything you need. I got you, and you got me. Yeah, I got you. You got me. Ay.
Yay! I'm so sorry I just interrupted. You were going to do another song.
Okay.
I was just so blown away. Okay, I'm going now.
Okay. Thanks, Sophia. Yeah, I wrote that song with my friend Sarah Gibbons, and we have a band together called Rose Knows, and you can look us up on Bandcamp, bandcamp.com/rose, like the flower, knows like the knowing. Yeah, we have a little EP there where we do a lot of really weird experimental stuff with nature sounds, and then also this song. Okay, so Ophira, maybe you need to come back because I hadn't quite decided what the second song would be. And there's so many things it could be, right? Because like, I just don't know what the world needs right now. It needs so much.
Yes.
So I guess I'm like, do you want something a bit more upbeat, or do you want something like that talks about the times? Do you want something old or something new? Those are the 4 options. Pick.
Oh, goodness.
New?
I'm figuring out what the world needs.
I don't know. Hi, Liz. Thanks.
Oh, we
love you too. Happy birthday, Virgo. I mean, that was a while ago. I'm just in a birthday mood.
Still within that.
Joshy with the party. The party. I love you,
More of
Joshy.
the confetti.
That song is always for you, Josh. You know? That's so good. Yeah. So old, new, or upbeat or slower. What do you feel?
Okay, I am going to say with those 4 options, I think new. I'm feeling new.
Okay, amazing. Mm-hmm. Okay, that's okay.
Is that enough to be
That's enough. Okay, wait. Do you want something more upbeat or that's hard? I wouldn't know what to say either if I were you. All right, I'm just gonna go with my gut because it's supposed to be my job. Okay.
I am not being helpful.
No, yes you are. Something new. Okay, so I'm gonna play a song that I wrote quite recently about this pandemic. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Here we go. It's it's pretty self-explanatory. Okay. It's just about, I'm going to sing it. You'll know what it's about. But I wrote it in May. So I was in my feelings. You creep like a bug all down my hall. Don't say a word. I answer the call. 'Cause I'm like a bird and I need a treat. And you look so dumb and you look so sweet. Oh, I could cry. Oh, I could cry into the night, up to the sky. Instead I fly, 'cause when I fly, I wanna feel something good. When I'm up here, I do what I feel I should, in my natural rhythm. I call it natural rhythm. I live by a stream. It's murky and green. You say that it used to be turquoise crystalline. But how could we know? It really don't show. And everything we try to plant, it really don't want to grow. And we could cry, yeah, we could cry into the night, into the night. Instead we try our natural rhythm. Remember natural rhythm. And if you don't know how to talk about it, if you don't know how to talk about it, if you don't know how to talk about it, I want you to feel it. I want you to feel it. If you don't know how to talk about it, if you don't know how to talk about it, talk about it. If you don't know how to talk about it, I want you to feel it. I want you to feel it. It's getting so late. The sun's rising soon. My mind is a tar pit, talking to you through a video screen. It's cold and it's bright. You listen to me. I guess it's alright. And I could cry, and I do cry into the night, into the night. 'Cause when I try to feel something good, well, I reach out for what I think I should in my natural rhythm. Remember natural rhythm. Yeah. Oh, Ophir over there in their feelings. Ophir over there in their feelings.
In my feelings. Okay, before the show, we were talking about hot chocolates, and like that just made me feel like I drank a cup of hot chocolate. I don't know how else to describe it.
Yes, chocolate. Yes, I love chocolate.
The like warm, full, like contented, like settled feeling. Those are my feelings.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. I mean, I love chocolate. I love chocolate. I love chocolate. And it's not like a casual thing. It's like cacao is something that I've been building a relationship with over the past like couple of years. And but it's a very beautiful food. It's a very beautiful thing. And in Mexico, we have a lot of traditions around cacao. So my family's Mexican and I'm first generation to Canada. I'm Mexican. And like cacao kind of comes from that part of the world. And there's a lot of traditional ways to prepare it, including with water. And you just like, you mix it so much until you actually are only supposed to eat the foam. And like the foam is like the food of angels / that's Catholicism, but food of like the gods. It's like this, like the foam that's just water and cacao. And my hair is kind of like the foam. People have said that my hair is like the cacao foam. So I really take that to heart. I'm like, yes, if I embody the things that chocolate is, that is a good life. That is a good life.
That is, first of all, that sounds incredible. That sounds amazing.
I'll make it for you sometime. It requires a lot of mixing.
Yeah, I definitely do not have we talked about my non-coordination.
Yeah.
Start of the show.
Yeah.
Oh, that was so beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah, Well, this is the thing. I invite people whose work I deeply admire, and then they share that work, and then I'm speechless, and I'm supposed to be hosting the show.
Show's over.
It's such a problem. I'm like, well, now I'm in my feelings.
Yeah, I feel that. Yeah, I know. It's kind of hard to have a show that's only like a certain amount of time long. That's kind of why I like doing a podcast. I can edit out all the stuff that I think is like me and my feelings. I'm like, and moving on.
Sit in it for a moment.
Yeah.
Well, okay, speaking of the time and, I promised a schedule and all of that, we do potentially have one more thing. I want to check in with you, Camila. How are you feeling? Where are you at?
Yeah, thanks. I mean, I love singing, and it's been a really long, I'm a musician. I used to play in bands, and I used to play live. So it's such a gift for me to be able to perform for people who are actually like watching. So I'm kind of loving that. And I'm thinking about all my musician friends who are also kind of really, really wanting that experience. So I know we kind of talked about a couple different ways this could go. I guess I'm wondering how much longer we have, because everything takes its own time. And yes. I do kind of feel like I have another song in me, if that's the appropriate short kind of little offering, but also there's lots of things we could do. You told me in an email that maybe we could like dress up a plant. So I was kind of psyched about that. That might be another episode.
Yes. First of all, yes, that is what we did when Alia Razul was a guest on this show. We did plant makeovers. They were spectacular. That episode is actually captioned and available
to YouTube,
watch.
Right? Yeah. That's mandatory viewing for sure.
If anyone, my plant makeover, I took it a different direction than Alia. Hers was a work of art, I will say. Mine was kind of cute and funny. And then Alia's was spectacular.
In the MoMA right now.
Yes. They're currently, once people can gather, there will be a full exhibition. I think a whole part of this performance and the idea of the house rules and everything and the visual descriptions is for it to be a relaxed performance. That's kind of a disability arts phrase and a phrase about accessible theater, of relaxing things in that realm. But it also really ties into the idea of slumber party and coziness and having space when the world is hard to just connect and be and see where we're at. I think that another song would be such a beautiful way to end this show.
Okay,
if you have it in you.
I love it. Yeah. Okay. So I definitely do. I think maybe I'll tie these themes together a little, because one of the things that I am known for and sometimes do for money is I read tarot cards, y'all. Yes. People are like, what? And I'm like, it's a real thing. People really do pay top dollar for that to happen to them. And I do it. But I also don't always do it for money. I just it's just something, for some reason it legitimizes the practice when I say that I do that. But it's something that's really important to me. So I'm actually currently writing a musical piece, a musical show about, inspired by tarot and inspired by divination and embracing transformation and change, basically. It's a lot of layers, and it's kind of like a sci-fi take on what success means and on what transformation means. And there's a lot of my politics in there, which are like binaries are dumb and like more access in general. So it's been really a lot of fun to write. And so there's lots of songs that are attached to that. And I feel like because I've done some like pretty heavy songs, I can do a song that is a little bit more upbeat from that show. So I'm kind of going two ways. So I've got a YouTube channel, and there's a couple of the songs from the show on that YouTube channel. So I'm not going to do one of those because I feel like you could just go there and watch that. So I'm going to do, a song. Which one should I do? Okay, I think I might do a kind of a groovy song. Oh, no, I can't do that one. All right, I'm going to do one that I never do. I'm going to do one of the opening songs, which is the song of the Fool. So the Fool is the main character in the show, and the Fool is also like the number zero card in the major arcana of a contemporary or of a conventional tarot deck. So tarot decks And playing card decks come from the same family. They just kind of are two branches of the same tree, and they're structured very similarly. So there's like lots of suits. There's like 4 suits, just like in the playing card deck. In the tarot deck, there's 4 suits. But each suit has to do with an element: fire, water, air, earth. And then there's a 5th suit, surprise, surprise, which is about the great mystery. It's also called the major arcana. So it's the great question or the great mystery. And that one has to do with like your spiritual growth as a person, kind of like the spiritual element. And 0 is like where we all start. But it's not a line, it's a circle. Oh my God, I'm just getting into theory. So the Fool.
It's amazing.
Okay, so the Fool is this character who's like, knows that something needs to change, but doesn't quite know what it is or how to go about it, but just has this impulse and all this energy and this like raw like feeling of like, oh, I gotta change something. I've got to do something. And so then the image of the Fool that you would often see is this character, usually a white male, blonde, able-bodied, thin man who is like wearing this like European medieval outfit and has a bindle, which is like a stick with a cloth bag on the end of it. Kind of, some people will associate that with travelers and stuff, because you like tie a little circular bag on the end of a stick and you hold it on your shoulder. And they're like walking on the cliff, and they're like carefree looking at the sky, just walking with that thing. But in my show, I mean, the Fool, I'm not going to give it away, but the Fool is the main character, but is no, I'm not going to give it away, but looks pretty different, but also doesn't. Wow. And this is their feelings. I haven't played this song in a while, so I hope I remember. Okay. This is their feelings. There's a space in the mountain where I'm supposed to be. There's an ache in my heart that's aching to bleed. There's a dip in the water that changes when I sleep. There's a plane in the air where I'm supposed to be, and there's a road with my name carved on every tree, and there's a car with my shit in it somewhere, riding oh so free. I'm headed nowhere. Why don't I take you there? I'm headed nowhere. Soon I'm headed nowhere. Why don't I take you there? I'm headed nowhere. Soon I've got a great big horizon and a map and a kind of sort of a plan. You know, I'm gonna figure it out about as much as I can. Now I got to jump up the cliff. Hey, won't you take my hand? Ooh, I'm headed nowhere. Why don't I take you there? I'm headed nowhere. Soon I'm headed nowhere. Why don't I take you there? I'm headed nowhere. Soon I've got an itch, I've got a scratch, I've got a plan I'm gonna hatch. I will be over the moon there with the sunlight in my hair. I've got an itch, I've got a scratch, I've got a plan I'm gonna hatch. I will be over the moon there with the sunlight in my hair. Oh. So they walk off whistling, and whistling is kind of their like claim to fame, and they whistle throughout the show and stuff. And that's the whole song. It's like one of the opening songs from the show.
Oh my goodness. I loved that so much. So much. I can't wait for the show to be a thing that I can see. But also,
I know.
but also,
I can't wait either, to be honest. It's so hard to write a show. I don't know how you did it.
I mean, I was very my last show. It was a solo show, so it was just me. It was just me talking and singing. Happy birthday!
Thank you, thank you, my Arabic Latinx sister. Appreciate you.
Celebrity in the chat.
I know, like honestly, celebrity shout out.
Yes.
What is this show?
I feel so honored.
I know. She's here.
But that does bring us to the end of the party, the end of the slumber party. I just want to send so much appreciation and thanks to so many people. To Connor for stage managing a comment says such talent, Camila, which, oh my goodness, yes, true.
If only those talents would turn into dollars, you know?
Hint.
I'll plug my websites and stuff at the end.
Perfect.
But I appreciate that. Thank you. You don't have to give me dollars. I hate capitalism. I think money should end. Anyway, let's finish the show, Ophira.
Yeah.
Finish her off.
These conflicting feelings are where we're at. Mm-hmm. How I feel at most slumber parties, for sure.
Like capitalism should end. That's the kind of slumber party I want to be at.
Well, exactly. Very much so.
Yeah.
I also want to thank everyone who watched, everyone in the chat. You're all so lovely. Thank you for watching and sharing, even if you weren't in the chats. And for those who wrote, we really, really appreciate you. And did I thank Connor Lowe, who's stage managing this extraordinaire behind the scenes, and thank you to Bad Dog Comedy TV for this platform, and thank you so much, Camila. Honestly, like, it's to get to chat with you, to get to hear you sing. I feel incredibly lucky. Before we end this, where can people
totally, where can they find my stuff? Yeah, well, firstly, thank you so much for having me, Ophira. I love this show. It's so fun, and I am really grateful that you asked me to be on it. It's such an honor, so thank you. Yes, so my stage name is Camila Consuelo Esperanza. And that is a name that's really special to me. I know it's long and it's not in English, but I love it. And every time I try to change it, I'm like, it's the one. So my stage name and my musical stuff comes with that name. And so I've got a SoundCloud. I've got an Instagram. Guess what? None of the handles are that name. I'm in transition. It is confusing. It's not your fault. So my SoundCloud, if you look up Camila Consuelo Esperanza in SoundCloud, you'll probably find me, but it's basically soundcloud.com/hope, comfort, beautiful days, which is what those words translate into in English. But you can find lots of songs, including, none of the ones I sang today. It's special for this, but lots of other ones. And then my Instagram is the word for butterfly in Spanish, but kind of misspelled in Spanish. So it's mariposa. So at Mari, which is spelled MARIPOHSA, mariposa _ Don't forget the underscore. That's me. And as I mentioned, I've got my Bandcamp, Rose Knows, which is bandcamp.com/rose, like the flower, knows like knowledge. And before the pandemic, I was working on recording my first album, and that really, really has come to a complete freeze. So that's something that's going to be coming up. And if you want to stay tuned about that information, I would love for you to stay tuned for the information. So you can follow me on those things. yeah, that's it.
Amazing. Ugh. Everyone, go do that right now. Hang up for this, go do that. I said to go to sleep after this show, but there's a step in between.
I'll meet you in your dreams, though. If you follow, I'll say hi in the dream world.
Then everyone shall be very lucky. Okay, as promised, I will wrap this up. I always have a hard time doing that because I just love hanging out with everyone so much. But
we have to go watch the presidential debate now, / you don't have to.
We don't have to. Only if we're up for it. We can check in on key details tomorrow if that's better for us.
Oh, yes.
But in that spirit, I'm sending so much love out there to everyone. I wish you all like hot chocolate feelings or actual hot chocolate if that works for you and your body.
The perfect. Yes, totally.
Yeah, and just we got this. We can figure it out. And yeah, thank you all so much and have a wonderful evening.
Yes, good night.
Work.